Indecisiveness, going all in, overcommitting, procrastinating, decision paralysis, doing everything yourself. Do you struggle with any of these things? Because I know I definitely have. And heck, honestly, sometimes I still do. These are all signs of perfectionism. So, something that I really want to be diving into for today's Thursday Tickles are going to be an overview of three causes of perfectionism and really where they stem from and how we can overcome them to really get the benefits of shifting out of an emergency brake mindset of perfectionism and into one of abundance. So, you can have more time, energy, and fulfillment. And doesn't that sound nice? So, I started off with some of those perfectionism qualities or feelings that come out. A lot of my clients have it saying that it's not just the indecisiveness, it's the constant thinking of, is it enough? Could I do more? Because again, perfectionists tend to think in very highly critical mindset, always looking for areas of improvement, not just in their own projects, but even in their own sense of self. But I wonder if any of these things resonate. How else does perfectionism show up for you? What does it look like for you in your life? Is it procrastinating? Is it that emergency brake of decision analysis? Getting caught in the loop of a project? It's so important to know what perfection looks like for you and how it shows up in your life. That way you have more power and choice in navigating it. For myself, I tended to wear the all or nothing badge of honor. I didn't like asking for help or support. I had to show that I could do everything myself. And again, once you have an idea of how your perfectionism shows up, you can have more power and choice in saying, there's that all or nothing mindset. What am I going to choose to do now? So we can start creating new responses to some old rules around perfectionism. And what do you think it would look like if you were able to take a breath and release that perfectionist mindset? If you were to move into one of abundance, do you think you would have more time, more energy? Would you get more projects done? Would you start more things? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear. Hi, Maddie. And so while you think about that, I want to let everybody know, welcome to my Thursday Tickles. These are a short time where I go live to tickle you with information for your personal expansion so you can have more power and choice in navigating all of life's challenges and adventures. So now that you've thought a little bit about how different your life could look if you were able to shift out of perfectionism, I want to come back and share what are some causes of perfectionism. Again, we can be very engaged and present in the moment as to this is how perfectionism is showing up for me in my day-to-day life, but really, what is that root cause? Once we can address that root cause, we can really take more of an inside-out approach. And once we get that root cause that's spewing all of that perfectionist anxiety and overwhelm and burnout, then we can really tend to that core wound or tend to that core cause. So I want to share three causes of perfectionism that tend to come up quite frequently with my clients. And again, this list is endless and there can be multiple causes. But the first one I want to share with you is a fear of failure. If you have a strong fear of failure, this can cause a lot of perfectionist tendencies because with that fear of failure, you want to make sure that everything is done perfectly. I've got to do things perfectly because if I fail, then everybody's gonna, whatever that story or experience or perception is for you. Because the thing is, with perfectionists, we don't like mistakes. Perfectionists they're different from high achievers because when we make mistakes, unlike high achievers who look at mistakes as an opportunity for learning and growth, perfectionism look at mistakes as a mistake, like we internalize that sense of failure. I didn't fail, I am a failure. So that fear of failing can really cause those perfectionist tendencies to want to make sure that we're always succeeding and nailing it. The second one that I want to share with you is just social comparison. We live in such a social world, and with technology and social media becoming more prevalent, we tend to find ourselves kind of comparing ourselves to other people, other women, other friends, that girl in high school, that girl in college, where are our lives at? And so in that state of social comparison, we can really get into our heads and really think about the image and the view that other people are holding of us. So when we're constantly comparing ourselves, and again, because perfectionists are highly critical, we're looking at our lives as to where we can be improved. So we become our own personal perfectionist project, making sure that we are being perfect and perceived by perfect to the world. And one of the main causes of that is just all of the fuel and criticism that comes in that internal narrative of social comparison. Thursday tickles, meant to be quick, tickled, fast. So roll your shoulders if you're still with me and raise the roof, everybody. Bring in some energy. The last thing that I'd like to share with you, one of the causes of perfectionism, is childhood. Childhood plays a huge impact in our lives because it is during that time that we are learning templates of love, of success, of habit, of work ethic, of sense of self. So if you grew up in a childhood where your parents were a perfectionist, or you were kind of experiencing certain levels of expectation, I mean, heck, we're all taught to get good grades, right? But at some point that shifts because we want to be the best. We want to get the gold stickers. We want to be number one. So it's how we really internalize some of those childhood experiences and how they were validated, internalized in our family, in our society, heck, in the community and in our school systems. And there's so many different ways that childhood can really impact our sense of self and really impact our perfectionist mindset. So, hi, Jess. So just a little quick overview again on the 3 causes of perfectionism. We've got the fear of failure. The second one is just social comparison, so that constant comparison to other people and criticizing yourself. And the third one is childhood experiences. So I hope that you were able to get a lot of information from this short little tickle where I tickle you with information. And I want you to know that if you are struggling with perfectionism, it's okay. Women are more likely to experience perfectionism, and we all have that loud inner critic that's quite rude sometimes. It's really when we are able to stop resisting our perfectionism and look at it through the lens of openness, acceptance, power, and choice that we can really start to have more awareness with it. We can really start to hear the voice of that inner critic and choose to listen to our own. Because I know it's hard. That inner critic is loud, making it really difficult to hear ourselves. But it is possible. And if you can overcome perfectionism, and I promise you can, then you're going to be able to experience less burnout. You'll have more energy, more fulfillment, better social relationships, and so much more. Let me know which one of these you think might be one of your causes of perfectionism in the comments below. And for anybody who's like, Des, I need more information and resource on this, I invite you to join me February 28th for my free event called Silence the Inner Critic, where I'll be sharing 3 ways to break out of the loop of perfectionism. So thank you so much, everybody. I've loved being here with you. Hey, and have an amazing day. Sending love and light always. Oh, and I love you. I love you. Bye, you guys. Ba 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 da. Awkward time where I get off live. Ba dum bum ba.